So the key idea here, for everyone who's just like, what's going on with life? Like, I'm just in a stagnant state. I'm just like, whatever, scrolling Instagram, lying in bed, you go to your job every day. It's like Groundhog Day, blah, blah, blah. Everyone's stuck in that, which is everyone. But you still got the spark, right? You've still got the intelligence that like they kind of like imbued in you through osmosis when you went to university, and like you clearly like, higher education is not completely dead. Like the vestiges of the real persist here and there. This is for anyone like that. Everyone else, I'll make a different video for you. The key thing about it, you have to do the thing that you're talking about while you're talking about it, so it's undeniable. So on a very baseline sort of level, you're chatting to someone, you have to imbue your chat with passion, with energy, to prove to them that what you're doing works. It can be summed up like this. I sometimes feel like I'm pushing a drug, but that drug is called rhizomatic thinking. Yeah, let me introduce you to it. Yeah, I'm selling it for this much. Amazon's already selling it. Jeff Bezos, can you see this? Jeff Bezos, legend. He's on our side, folks. He's on our side, folks. You leftists who are stuck in your aesthetic of how the world works. Logistical genius. Let him have his billions. Order this off of Amazon, say shut the fuck up and take my money. It will come within, it will come at 6 p.m. the same day if you live near a fucking warehouse like I do. Shut up and take my money. Fuck. Shut up and take my money. And and then we'll do the rest. We'll take the revolution from here. Thank you very much, Bezos. Right? Use the system against itself. But always make sure to subordinate it to what the fundamental thing is. Which is that there's no fundamental thing. Because fuck that. We're done with fundamental things. We're tired of trees. What a Western way of thinking. No editing. I'm not going to cut together shit to make it prim and proper and perfect. What a Western way of thinking. Follow the line of flight. That's what a line of flight is. Follow the line of flight. Just see where it goes. Ride the wave. It's taking you somewhere on purpose. It's showing you your destiny. And you're doing it while you're doing it. So it's like nested, and it nests all the way down, and the world just lines up, and bang. You've got the path. What do we call that path? It's a pretty important path. De-stratifying path. The path of de-stratification. That's what I've called it, at least. Who gives a fuck what Deleuze and Guattari called it? They'll be happy for me to call it whatever the fuck I want. They came up with these concepts to begin with as fuzzy concepts that can be applied to anything. They just anything. Let's get it going again. Like line bike bacteria or something. Like the phone, it's good. Keep these things a bit dirty. Don't keep them clean. They should be dirty. You should feel like you're down in the dumps when you're dealing with all this digital technology. Because that's how it is. The biggest carriers of bacteria. Don't try and clean them like they're the gods of your house or something. What's the best? No, hidden writings. Short notes on hidden writing. Hidden writing is just as much about hidden meaning as that underbelly of meaning itself, the nothing. You can see all that, can't you? Cool. In hidden writing, the reader is expected to play just as involved a role as the author in constructing the meaning of the text. In fact, the goal would be to construct just the same amount, 50-50. And by the way, this applies not just to writer and reader, but also to like two people sitting in a room having a conversation, or two people playing a video game. If the reader was constructing more than the author, that would be fake, simulating. If the author was constructing more than the reader, that would be talking down, lecturing. If the reader and the author are partaking in this construction of meaning of the text in perfectly reflected intensity, this signals the most productive, orgasmic arrangement for thought. Essentially, the author leaves potential plot holes running through the story on purpose. Whoever is more capable in the conversation, because there will be someone who's more capable in the conversation, but it doesn't mean they're better. It just means I'll do this part, which is best for both of us. So life is like a positive sum game. Essentially, the author leaves potential plot holes running through the story on purpose, which can be treated as the main narrative instead, while the initial main narrative is made submissive. But to truly grasp at the underbelly of meaning is not a conscious act. It comes about in normal, everyday construction. This ambivalence of the text, therefore this ambivalence of all syntactic structures and sign systems, is what is properly referred to by reversibility. The irony of meaning, the continuity of the nothing, have your pick. Young Baudrillard, only total revolution, theoretical and practical, can restore the symbolic in the demise of the signed and of value. Even signs must burn. Think about this stuff at the level of the individual today, because it's not going to, don't think about going on the streets and burning down signs and whatever. Think about the revolution taking place at the individual level, because that's the best we can do right now. Restore the symbolic for yourself. Restore the potency of presence for yourself. Even signs must burn for yourself. But speaking of things in terms of singular authors, still betrays the phallogocentric and the arborescent. The truth of the matter is not that we are individuals trapped by our phenomenological horizon, but rather, strictly speaking, that there is no truth of the matter. And if that is so, hidden writing is best interpreted as the work of multiple authors, regardless of which neoliberally formulated individual's fingers dance the keyboard. In this nomadic thought, there are but forces flowing through and between what would otherwise be rigidly formulated, rationalizing, cognitive, recognitive subjects or agents. See intelligence and spirit. A Thousand Plateaus opens. The two of us wrote Anti-Oedipus together. Since each of us was several, there was already quite a crowd. The essence of destiny is to cautiously embrace the other. The only true sacrifice we make for other subjects, with all the caveats that word comes with, or even for reality itself in its total otherness, is to voluntarily channel some of the forces that otherwise flow through them. These forces may be irrational, impulsive, demoniacal, good. Let the exorcism ensue for all to witness, uncovering the brute evil of the manipulating entity. These forces may be enlivening, joyful, dialectical, good. Let the vibes flow, and let them carry over into sober everyday praxis. This is the process of truly understanding the other. The ultimate stage of science, the most sublime, the breaking of the glass, the disrobing of the lab coat, an entry into the enclosure with open arms and a wry smile. This cannot last forever, save another scientist coming along to insert a new pain. Capital's diabolical fusion of market and state will forever be watching, analysing, coldly distanced, precise, informed, foxy. But we can turn this weakness, this inherent sedentarization of the Western state, against itself. Against the passive, cool robots of hyperreal postmodernity, we must deploy the undeniable charms of the outside. For reality is irresistible at the juncture of seduction. We all silently take our revenge on this process, the hyper-realizing, operationalizing, freezing and fixing of reality. There will always be Native American, Indian reservations to hide the fact that we are all Indians. Or better yet, thus ethnology, rather than circumscribing itself as an objective science, will today, liberated from its object, be applied to all living things and make itself invisible, like an omnipresent fourth dimension, that of the simulacrum. We are all Tassidaes, Indians who have again become what they once were. Simulacral Indians who at last proclaim the universal truth of ethnology. One should be careful of the turn this discourse takes. Anarcho-primitivism is a hop, skip, and a good YouTube video away, such is the pitiful state of the opposition in a system of perpetual death. Drop the primitive, dear boy. Tribes can be intelligent. The pop culture image of a return to caveman nature as the only other alternative to a monstrous and unprincipled system of exchange is one of the many convincing alibis the system has at its disposal for regenerating legitimacy.